Good morning and happy Tuesday. I started just a little bit early because, well, I missed you guys. I missed you. Hi, Diva. Hello, Sherry. Angel P. Rebecca said, woohoo. Hello, Lisa Wilson. JTB in the house. Yeah, I had the show all ready to go yesterday. I actually added some to it today. And a friend of ours came into town. She's here to get a new job. So I thought I was picking her up at 11. So I was like, well, that'll give me time to do the show, not a problem. And she was ready at like 8:30 in the morning. So anyway, and then on top of that, she flew in from Atlanta on Delta. And what do you know? You know, Delta stands for doesn't ever leave the airport. Well, in this case, they left the airport, but they left without her damn luggage. So we had to spend some time yesterday tracking down her luggage. But isn't that how it goes? And let me tell you what. You can tell things are really hyping up because Robin has been speaking out on her channel. Didn't even know she had one. Don, I think he was actually hacked, but we'll talk about that. Good old Tim. In my opinion, Tim is trying to intimidate the oldest child of theirs. Okay? Theirs together. We know they have other children who were equally abused. But it's getting crazier and crazier. Before we get to it, let's take a second and tell everybody Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Woo! So glad you guys are here and also on such short notice. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Tim is answering people on the Find Summer Wells page, which, by the way, does everything except try to find Summer Wells. It is the damnedest thing I've ever seen. If you have a page or a group that says find, you should be talking about that. Advocating. Not talking about CPS. If you ask me, I think Timmy Boy, Robin, Dawn, Candace, and Grandis should be thanking the people that are raising the boys and getting them stable, secure, cared for, in sports, doing homework with them. Slip that on for size. But here comes old lying-ass Tim. Yes, I call this right here a lie. He says the public only saw the house after it had been searched and taken apart by law enforcement many, many times due to the case of Summer Wells. Children are not taken if a home isn't as tidy as the public thinks it should be. June 14th, 2021, the first bogus case was closed. Obviously, the way the house looked did not cause a problem concerning the children. Because no one's concerned about a messy house. They're not concerned. That's not why they were taken. What the case from June 14th was about, I don't know. I've only heard rumors. He deletes anyone that doesn't agree with his narrative. And if you look through Candace's many, many Facebook accounts, that house was disgusting before Summer ever went missing. No. ridiculous. He's also doing some dirty deleting. This was about a week ago, I believe. He said, "You might see Dawn in the window. Quick job today." And he's out of there. My guess is his boys will be hard workers too. Hashtag Amber Alert families, which is no such thing. I think he's got this confused with Gold Star families. Stupid. "You might see Dawn in the window. Quick job today, and he's out of there. My guess is his boys will be hard workers too." Obsessed much? Are you obsessed? Freaking stalker. Okay, and against my better judgment, I'm putting this up because it's still available on his public Find Summer Wells page, which does everything except try to find Summer Wells. Matter of fact, that's the one thing that you do not talk to Tim and crew about is Summer Wells. You can talk about anything else. You can talk about Cher, Benny, CPS, anything, just not Summer. It says, "The oldest son, we continue to pray for you. You are a leader, even though Summer kept you in your place. Someday when you read this," which is spooky that he even said that, "be reminded how much your parents, your family, and thousands of friends all love you." That is spooky. Thousands of people, but thousands of people saw this. "If you choose to do sheetrock, you can be your dad's boss. Thank you for watching over your brothers. You're a special young man. God always wins." Are you kidding me? Now, if what we're hearing is correct, they have court on Thursday. And this has really been ramping up. And Tim is fixated on the oldest boy. Why? It seems like intimidation to me. Now, where this picture came from, for a fact, I don't know. I heard that Dawn sent it to him and that it was sent to them after Josie's birthday. It's obviously an older picture because obviously he would have grown in the last couple of years. It was posted on one of Candace's many Facebook pages eons ago. And my understanding, it was posted in September of 2021. Well, then that would be in front of the home where he's living. Some people say it came from the house in Utah. What house in Utah? That's correct. I don't know. But I think it's creepy. And for some reason, he is laser focused on that oldest boy. All I can say is it seems like intimidation to me. Just my opinion. Well, this is easy enough to explain. Trevor put this on his community page. This is a copy of the gag order. It is ordered that all parties to this action are hereby prohibited from discussing this matter or the children with the media or any other non-essential person, entity, and or uninvolved parties and or persons. Well, that seems explainable enough to me. So Dawn, Candace, Grandis don't need to discuss what's going on with CPS. The Sabbath teacher, I would think she would be a party. And the person that's the self-proclaimed meteor manager, certainly shouldn't be talking about it. He represents them. Do you all think that Tim is violating the gag order? It's pretty simple. Pretty simple for me. Canvas and Crime is making it rain in here. Let's take a second. If you were gifted a membership, Please thank our friend Canvas and Crime. Jazzy Jules says yes. Jennifer says yes. Canadian Cookie says yes. I have a feeling he won't be so handy-dandy on the keyboard if he gets swatted by the new judge in town. And yes, it is not a rumor. This started circulating around on Friday. Brandon Lawson is out. Some judge in East Tennessee decided to shave 19 years off of his sentence. 19 years. Brandon Lewis Lawson, classification status, classification, violent. You can read it there at the top, Tennessee Sex Offender Registry. If you live in East Tennessee, you might want to take a screenshot of this because his classification is violent. Do you think maybe the judge owed Ronnie a favor? You think they go way back? Think they go fishing together? Think they belong to the same club? I don't know. You've got to be kidding me. And yes, we heard about Brandon about a year ago, but a lot of stuff can happen in a year. You could get in more trouble in jail. It was hard for me to wrap my mind around it. Because let's face it, Drywall Dawn and Can't the Coin Pusher give us enough to think about. Then you add this crazy to the mix. Classification violent. Classification violent. Well, our friend Bob did an excellent video about it. Let's check out our friend Bob. If one of the mods could please put his link in here for our friend Bob. He pulls no punches.
Hello, everyone. Bob Green here. Well, you are looking at Brandon Lawson. Brandon Lawson is the son of Hawkins County, Tennessee Sheriff Ronnie Lawson. This is his pedophile sexual predator son here who just got released from jail after serving a year for sexually assaulting a child. He was sentenced to 20 years, but they reduced 19 years of the sentence. So he only served a year for sexually assaulting a child. So I'm asking everyone to please, if they could, take a little time and make a video, and let's make Sheriff Ronnie Lawson and his pedophile sex predator son here famous worldwide by making a video and sharing this, that this man right here sexually assaulted a child and only served 1 year for doing that. All right, everyone, take care.
Earlier today, I came across
Bob pulls no punches. He's not going to use PC words like ped or anything like that. He just says it like it is. And this is disgusting. Disgusting. Again, look at that. Classification status, violent. What would make the sheriff's son violent in that way? We're not talking about somebody who's getting into fights at the bar. A violent SO. Great job, Bob. Great job. All right. Now we get to this. Oh, Can't the Coin Pusher decided to share this. She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. She is saying, well, she just shared it. Okay, this was shared by the Cash Gurnan Justice Family Organization, who, by the way, had some issues with CPS. We can do a whole show about Cash Gurnan if you would like. He had no business being in the house he was in. He had no business with his father. He had no business being handed off to a trap house, him and his twin brother. Also, parents who had no business having their children would be little AJ's parents in Illinois. You see, they murdered him. So Kent, the coin pusher, shared this. It says, former DCFS worker found guilty in AJ's death case. It wasn't for removing AJ. It was for not acting fast enough. To get some more clarity for the matter, maybe Kent needs to see this. Now, they tried the whole wandering off theory. He just went to play. He might have run away. He was abducted. It didn't take the authorities long to figure out that the parents had something to do with it, because guess what? Their stories were changing. And suddenly the mother stopped being cooperative. It was no longer about changing stories. The mother just stopped being cooperative. Mama Bear, thank you for the super sticker. This is a horrible story about little AJ.
Before AJ was even born, we looked at the timeline with Cook County's Deputy Public Guardian. What she sees are many, many missed opportunities to save a little boy's life.
Reminds me so much of Harmony. And we might find out months, years down the road, it might sound like Summer. We don't know. There's a problem when parents don't cooperate with law enforcement.
An innocent child, a horrible death. Tonight, lingering questions.
The system failed this child. Absolutely.
And an urgent need for answers.
We have really got to revisit removing some of these kids before they get murdered by their parents.
In the Loop today, a grilling from state lawmakers for the Department of Children and Family Services about how it so completely failed.
So Kent needs to listen to that again. This was in Illinois. They said, we have to revisit this. We have to remove these children before, well, their parents do something to them. She's making it sound like they're in trouble for removing the kids. That's what a dum-dum she is.
We've really got to revisit removing some of these kids before they get murdered by their parents.
In the Loop today, a grilling from state lawmakers for the Department of Children and Family Services about how it so completely failed.
The death of a child that was in our care and a family that we were involved with is unacceptable to me and to this department.
It's incredibly tragic.
Alpha Patel has been with the Cook County Public Guardian's Office for 25 years. She looks at DCFS's own timeline on the Friend case and sees a sea of red flags.
There were missed opportunity after missed opportunity throughout the course of this little boy's life.
It wasn't just substance abuse or a filthy home or visible bruises. It was all three. From the day AJ was born, testing.
From the day he was born. Visible bruises. I understand he had rotted teeth. Filthy home. I don't think she understands the comparison she's making doesn't look good on her. Go back a little bit.
Missed opportunity throughout the course of this little boy's life.
It wasn't just substance abuse or a filthy home or visible bruises. It was all three. from the day AJ was born, testing positive for opiates and benzodiazepines. Here's another, 1 year ago, observed at the hospital to have odd bruising on his face. And just before Christmas, when police were called to the friend home and saw a large bruise on AJ's hip, he told an ER doctor, maybe someone hit me with a belt. Maybe mommy didn't mean to hurt me.
Had there been some kind of meaningful intervention, and I think it's key to say it's meaningful intervention, we probably wouldn't be sitting here today talking about what had happened.
Outside experts tell us the problem, in a word, is leadership. There have been 13 different directors or acting directors at DCFS since 2011. We've also been talking to insiders there about what's going on at the agency. They gave some very specific answers to our questions about that. We'll have more on that tonight on our News at 10.
Well, his parents are in jail for life. They're not enjoying jail, I'm sure. The DCF worker, there might be two. I'm not sure. I have to refamiliarize myself with the case. They got in trouble because they ignored so much stuff. Then you have Can't sharing the post as if it proves her point. Listen to what they said. Visible bruises. It was said that he had many rotted teeth. A filthy ass house. Drugs. She basically just made a spot-on comparison to her. You dipshit. But she's got other stuff to do because I believe this that was posted on Dawn's page yesterday. I love you, my beautiful wife, Candace Wells. I think that was posted by Can't. When old Dawn was in the shower or sleeping naked or outside. See, Dawn doesn't post like this. It seems to me that Candace is trying to make Cher jealous. I'm sure Cher will respond to it when she gets done laughing her ass off. Gag-a-maggot. For one, Dawn doesn't post like this, okay? This is how Dawn posts. Haters, God still loves you. We must fight against hate while there's still time. I have many reasons to hate, but in the name of our Savior and in the name of Summer Moon, we must love. Okay, that's how Dawn posts. This is how Candace posts, okay? Good try, Can't. You have better luck at coin pushing than you do at fooling us. Nutcase. Katie Bird said Dawn might need glasses. Dawn might need glasses. So this has been circling around. This is from Jody Sue. It says, so Candace Sr., Grandis, left the house on the 15th at some point too. Going into the holler maybe? That would be super odd. I guess I finally found Cam and Allie to be of some use. Along with Candace, Dawn, and Tim, among others, own words and images. Question is, are these more lies or question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark? Because we know Jody speaks in riddles. I have not solved one of her riddles yet, but I'm just going to go to the first sentence. Why, if Grandis was napping and so busy with those succulents and handing out peppermint, which she got free at Sonic, would she leave that day? We also know that Can't, the coin pusher, TBI said to her, according to her, that they know that she left 2 more times that day. So would this be 3 more trips after getting home? I don't know. So this has been circulating around. And well, if you ask Candace, we know exactly what she would say about that post.
I don't know about Jackie Dobbs. I've just heard about him. I don't know about Jody Stu. I've talked to Jody Stu time and time again, And every time she talks to me, her story has changed.
Like in how? Like in how?
Okay, like, for instance, like, she said that she was down on the bottom after she heard somebody scream or whatever. She was never at the bottom of that driveway. I drove down there faster than she could fucking fly.
Okay. So she said, so the scream, of course, is out of the question now, right? There was no scream, right?
There's no scream, dude. She's maced all that shit up. Lie. I can't lie. It's not in my metabolism.
Okay.
Now, if she was standing down there, was that after Summer had came up missing?
I don't know when she got down there. I just know when I drove down to my mom's truck, she was down there.
Okay.
Was she already looking, or was she doing something different?
She was just standing on the corner.
Very, very interesting.
Right.
Was it surprising, you coming down the drive knowing your daughter?
Yeah, because usually Jody Sue don't walk around. Lie. I can't lie.
It's not in my metabolism. Lie. I can't lie. Nobody accused her of lying. So when someone says, I'm not lying, they're probably freaking lying to you. Ever had somebody telling you a story and go, I'm not lying? And you're like, yeah, I get it. I get it. This was posted by Evil Exists, speaking of CPS and their failures. Because if something isn't done about the situation with Hunter, at least, we've got bigger problems than what we're already dealing with. This video by Evil Exists, go check it out. Check out the channel, is spot on. Because I believe Hunter, in my opinion, is also a victim of Candace's.
Earlier today, I came across a post on YouTube that said maybe Hunter is the key to what happened to Summer, since Candace and Dawn would take whatever they know to hell, rather than tell the truth. It's an interesting statement, and I thought Hunter has been extremely quiet the past 2 years. Except from that interview with Chris McDonough, we haven't really heard much from him. I question all the time the relationship Candace had with Hunter. I know there's lots of speculation surrounding it, but what's the truth? And why are there no charges if she did in fact supply a minor with vapes and twisted tea? I totally believe that Candace gave Hunter twisted tea that day. She said she bought sweet tea for her mother, but I don't even think for a minute that Candace was even at the swimming hole. She was in so much pain that she had to go to the emergency room. So how was she able to walk down the path to the swimming hole and stand there while Summer went swimming? Don't buy that for a second. I think it was just Candace, Hunter and Summer at the swimming hole, and Summer was swimming while Candace and Hunter did who knows what. Honestly, there are a few things that I want to go over regarding Hunter and Candace. The first thing is, remember when Hunter changed his relationship status to say he was in a relationship, and then changed his Facebook profile picture to him and Candace?
This is the only thing I'm going to disagree on, and we can agree to disagree. Because I love Evil Exists, love the channel. I am very up in the air as to whether Candace was in such immense pain or not. For one, Candace does not care about anyone. She doesn't care about her husband. She doesn't care about her house. She doesn't care about her children. We know this just from what we've seen. So if you're in such immense pain, you would get straight home. Not go into the grocery store and walk around for milk and cheese. Not sit at Sonic and have a damn slushie. You get your medicine and you go home. That was June 15th. June 18th, seems that Candace heals as fast as her daughter can't. As we know, Candace has a bad ticker. Candace supposedly had a stroke that acts up from time to time when she's drinking. We've had a broken rib. She did something to her foot, and she bounces right back. So this is a few days after Summer disappeared. They're at the water park. Now, as you know, when you go to the water park, you're walking around on cement. Very hard surface. So if you are in immense pain from your knee, the last thing you'd want to do is walk around on hot-ass cement. So was she in immense pain? I don't see it. I don't see it.
Hunter and Summer at the swimming hole, and Summer was swimming while Candace and Hunter did who knows what. Honestly, there are a few things that I want to go over regarding Hunter and Candace. The first thing is, remember when Hunter changed his relationship status to say he was in a relationship, and then changed his Facebook profile picture to him and Candace. When Candace did an interview with Unmasked, one of the very first times she spoke out, she said Hunter calls her Aunt Candace. Who believes that? Let's also look at these really sickening messages between Candace and Hunter on Facebook. He was a young teenage boy.
We talked about this several weeks ago. It's still on his Facebook. He says in a relationship. This was May 27th of 2020, and his picture is of him and Candace. Nobody's tagged in the relationship, but there's a picture of him and Candace trying to look all sexy. She says, with who? Your hand? He says, yeah, Rosie Palm and her 5 sisters. She says, and her brothers. He says, F you too. She says, no, bro, I don't F my homies. Well, this is not the way we talk to, at this time, I think he would be 13 going on 14, 14 going on 15, you know. This is disgusting. Yeah, look at her. Look at the profile picture. May 27th it's posted. May 27th it said he's in a relationship.
So look at these really sickening messages between Candace and Hunter on Facebook. He was a young teenage boy at this time. Why does she think it's okay to talk to a child this way? Really bothers me a lot. David Dotson said that he went to the Wells house the week Summer vanished, and Candace was on a video call with Hunter. That's the first time he ever met Hunter. Why was Candace FaceTiming Hunter days after Summer vanished?
Because she's damn disgusting. And I believe she violated that child. Look who made it in. If it's not the one and only Miss Tiffany, and everybody get ready because today is her birthday. Happy birthday, my dear friend. Cake for everybody. Happy birthday, Tiffany, and I hope this is the best birthday you've ever had. You are such an amazing friend. You're such a strong person, strong woman, strong mother, and I just hope it is the best one yet. All right, before I get to Creep Alert, I don't even have to name names. You're going to know the minute it pops up. Let's go to criminality for our friendly reminder.
They have no evidence that this is an abduction case.
Well, I knew right away that she was abducted.
Without any evidence of an abduction.
Somebody abducted her.
Think she would be kidnapped? Never.
She was kidnapped.
They can find there was no indication whatsoever of child abduction.
This is the fact. Someone abducted our daughter.
What I'm saying is they're not being truthful.
Mrs. Summer has come missing. We've been used and abused
by the fucking police.
The child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating.
It's not just the YouTubers, it's the fucking police.
Why are they so cooperating?
No, they're not cooperating right now.
It accused me of selling my daughter's adult.
It's not just the YouTubers, it's the police. They want to talk to you, Don. They mainly want to talk to Can't. They mainly want to talk to Can't. We got a time gap problem. We have a timeline problem. You know, last week when we were talking about the case of Crystal Rogers, and both Nick Houck and his brother Fatneck, the FBI said to them multiple times, well, we have a timeline problem. You can't account for your time.
Fucking police.
The child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating.
It's not just the YouTubers, it's the fucking police.
Why are they so cooperating?
No, they're not cooperating right now.
It accused me of selling my daughter's adult. Fucking TBI and FBI.
The county sheriff says right
Sold her for dope? Is that a confession?
now Summer's family is no longer cooperating with their searches.
They're coming to, you know, for the 11th time, kick our door in.
Little girl's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating amid the ongoing investigation.
She's not in the area, and they know that.
I believe that she would probably be somewhere close by.
Somebody's abducted her and took her out of the area.
Because we found nothing to lead us to believe that she's been abducted or trafficked out of the area.
No, we don't know. Well, we know someone took her because we know.
All right, and there's the credits she gives: Perplex, Ziggy, The Lab, Nor Jasmine, Interview Room, Jinky, WKRN, WJHL, Wait, News Nation, Times News Online. Great job on this video, and I think we get the point. Again, I go back to what an idiot Candace is for sharing that post about DCF in Illinois getting in trouble for the case of AJ. It's not because they removed AJ, it's because they didn't. They ignored too many red flags. Way too many. Way too many. And now we get to it, because what's been floating around, what has been posted, one is not recent, but it is creepy. I don't know what Tim and Robin are gearing up for. What is it to them? What is it to them? We already heard Bob's video, which was great, where he called CPS and said, they're saying y'all kidnapped the boys. And she's like, yeah, we're aware. We're aware. They're in good hands. Nobody kidnapped them. No. Hello, nature lover. Now then, if you haven't had breakfast, you're going to be okay. If you've eaten, you might throw up a little bit in your mouth. You're going to hear a lot of baby talk. You're going to hear a lot of baby talk. This is from Robin Lane's YouTube channel. I'm going to scroll something here across the bottom. Just in case she wants to pull a daisy and strike me. Which didn't work, by the way. Okay, they're singing Find Summer. I do not know where these gardens are at, but yes, they are very pretty. and it's titled Nobody's Listening. Nobody's listening. I've never been a huge fan of Robin's, but I've just tried to give her the benefit of the doubt and just kind of leave her alone. Some things can't be ignored, like her helping renovate the Wells home. That's odd. That creepy ass speech she made at church, December of 2021, where she said, "I'm a little bit sad that Summer's not here with us." She also made an announcement that they had Summer's toys and they were scrubbing dirt off of them.
Finding Summer Moon Utah Wells. From the day that you first went missing, the goal was to find you. That's all we could think of, is finding our precious little girl. Where could she be? That's still what we're doing right now. Yes. Every single moment, there are people out there looking for you, whether it be the police or the TBI or just people who have seen your flyers. Yes, we are still looking, still searching for little Summer, and always will be until we find you.
Who is searching for her, Robin? Y'all were fixing up the house. Did you think she was going to show up to the door selling Girl Scout cookies? Who? And I always have to ask, especially in this case, why now? What got your panties in a wad? And I mean that for Tim as well, because I have a feeling he doesn't wear regular men's bloomers.
Wait, what is that? Oh, how many times have people approached me or sent me pictures, things that they thought looked like Summer, things that resembled her face. Oh wait, there's another little hint, a clue of something that seems like might be evidence of something wrong. I've gotten so many messages so many times, so many things that get my hopes up.
So she cut out these hearts that spell out Summer, and she's walking around. It looks like an A.F. Pennington production to me, and she probably just added her voice, but I don't know. A.F. didn't take any credit for it that I know of. Now, here's the thing. I'm sure Robin's DMs have been busy for the last over 2 years. But when she does reply, it's in defense of them.
I've gotten so many messages so many times, so many things that get my hopes up. Little Robin, what do you think about this? And my heart leaps for a split second, thinking, maybe, just maybe, this is it. There have been temptations at times to run wild, to take what evidence that I think I have in my hands and go crazy with it. Especially the evidence that seems like it was concealed. Something that just seems too strange. Could this possibly be it? I just want to run with it. And there have been times where I have to admit, I kind of have.
Well, what evidence do you have, Robin? You see, the word evidence really sticks out to me. What evidence is in your hands that you have thought about just running wild with? Is summer not worth it? The boys are safe. The boys are safe.
Seems like it was concealed. Something that just seems too strange. Could this possibly?
Why is the second M under a rock? What are we trying to say here? What the hell is going on? Evidence in my hands I was going to run wild with. Why would you not?
Be it? I just want to run with it. And there have been times where I have to admit, I kind of have. I run to the people who I think are supposed to be responsible for taking action. And sometimes they seem like they just do nothing. Sometimes they seem like they're just sitting around. And I think that I've really got something, but they just don't even really seem to listen.
Who's not listening? If she's implying that law enforcement won't listen to her, well, this is how they operate. They don't say, "Ooh, great tip," and then call you every day and say, "This is what we're doing with it." They take the tip and they put it in the puzzle.
They just don't even really seem to pay any mind to it. And I just feel discouraged, hopeless. What do I do now? Oh, there's someone over there. Maybe they'll listen. Hey, can... Why do I even bother?
She said, "Why do I even bother?" What do you mean, why do you even bother? Evidence in your hands you've thought to run wild with. Lisa said, "This is more of a distraction, in my opinion." They're ramping up for something. And the only thing that makes sense to me is court on Thursday. You know, it got moved because of the judge's issue in August. They didn't show up in May. In February, they went because the gag order had been violated. Well, I would have put them both in jail for 10 damn days. I would have put them in jail for 10 damn days. It's going to be very interesting when Chris McDonough releases the unedited version of his interview with Robin. October 19th is also where Summer's birthday. She's counting down the days. Are you going to be 29 again, my friend? The Cal references are just too perfect, okay? But the second M under the rock, talking about evidence in her hand but can't get anyone to listen. Then we come to this. Is she using Dawn and Candace, or are they using her?
Run to the people who I think are supposed to be responsible for taking action.
It says continued from last Monday. I didn't know Robin celebrates Metabolism Monday too. Woohoo! Raise the roof. Come join us, Robin. We do Metabolism Monday too.
I run to the people who I think are supposed to be responsible for taking action. And sometimes they seem like they just do nothing. Sometimes they seem like they're just sitting around. And I think that I've really got something, but they just don't even really seem to listen. They just don't even really seem to pay any mind to it. And I just feel discouraged, hopeless.
Okay, I'm not buying it, picked it up. What does she mean, run to people responsible? What is she trying to unpack here? Is it more distraction, or does she really know something?
Like they just do nothing. Sometimes they seem like they're just sitting around. And I think that I've really got something, but they just don't even really seem to listen. They just don't even really seem to pay any mind to it. And I just feel discouraged, hopeless. What do I do now? Oh, there's someone over there. Maybe they'll listen. Hey, can... Why do I even bother? Wait, what is this? Right there. Huh. Maybe there is still hope. I mean, the other thing, yeah, that, I don't even know why I was thinking that. It's just crazy. But this is a clue. It could go somewhere. Wait, oh my goodness, this totally makes sense. This has got to be it. Why did I not see this before? Forget the TBI. Forget them. No, we're going to go straight for a YouTuber. No, what? There's got to be somebody that can help. Somebody that will actually listen to me. Because
the hell am I watching? Is this the Blair Witch Project? Now we're running. I've got to find somebody that will listen. I've got to find somebody that will listen. I've got to find somebody that will listen. TBI, FBI, Hawkins County, WJHL.
this has got to be it. Why did I not see this before? Forget the TBI. Forget them. No, we're going to go straight for a YouTuber. No, what? There's got to be somebody that can help. Somebody that will actually listen to me. Because
there were times we were so afraid. So many years we had lost our way, but we would hold on to your promise. Your mighty hand would deliver us, a guiding light through the wilderness, and we would hold on to your promise. You said, I am.
I'll read it later.
The rock
I'll
that
keep
you
with me.
stand on. I am your light and salvation. I will never, ever let you go. I am the God.
The heart of God yearns over his earthly children with a love stronger than death. Oh, let us contemplate the amazing sacrifice that is being made for us. Let us try to appreciate the labor and energy that heaven is expending to reclaim the lost and bring them back to the Father's house.
You were there through the darkest times, in every victory and every trial. We will hold on to your promise. You gave us life when we had You gave us signs so that we would know that we could hold on to.
Are you saying that you're gonna find her?
You said I am the rock that you stand on. I am your light.
No, I have to look for her. I know that you are gonna reclaim the lost Lord, but I have to find her. I have to keep looking. I mean, I have to.
She's like, I have to find her. I have to keep looking. I have to keep looking. Have you been looking? What are you talking about? Evidence in your hand you want to run wild with, but nobody will listen? Obviously, she's slamming YouTube creators, and that's okay.
Where could she be? Where is she? There's another clue somewhere. Where? Whoa. That's it. It's it. Then where is she?
Delusional. What do you mean, then where is she? Ask your buddy Candace. Ask your buddy Candace that you just went to the Christian concert with. And if my sources are correct, and you know how I am about things on the internet, Robin was actually the one that suggested the psych eval that Candace went to. Kathy took her. We spoke about it last Monday. Here's just a little reminder of it.
I actually took her to her psychiatric evaluation when they first ordered it, and it was in Knoxville. And at that time, she really hadn't driven on the interstate. She hadn't driven very far, so she was really nervous. So I went with her, and really she didn't even know how to work her GPS. So we get to the doctor's office. I sit down in the chair, and the first thing that she does is sit down on the floor and grabs the Legos and starts playing with Legos. When the doctor came from the back, she opened the door, and she looked at me and she said, "Candace." And I turned and looked at Candace, and I could see shock actually in the doctor's face, because she, I think was looking at me to be Candace, sitting in a chair, waiting to be seen, and then she looks over there and Candace is sitting on the floor, playing with Legos. Like a child, yes. Do I feel the Lego thing was legit or a ploy to seem off? Okay, no, it wasn't a ploy. That's who she is. That's who she is. That's the level she's on. And, she has never ordered anything offline. She's never written a check. That's why I had to fill out all the papers for her, because she don't know how to do any of that. And that's probably one reason, she don't want to step away from Don, because, he handles it all for her. No matter what it is, he handles it all.
Seems like we're trying to set up a mental illness defense. And Candace is very good at manipulating people. She's very good at manipulating people. I don't know how she does it. If she's so limited in her mental capacity, how does she get people to do what they do for her? Because let's face it, we all have friends. We have good friends. We have that friend, you can call and you're like, hey, can you give me a ride? And they're like, yeah, I'll be right there. Hang on, I missed a comment. A meme girl said they all just effing around with people about this case so people get confused. What do you say, Brooks? Yeah, they're ramping up for something. And I just think it's the court case. I mean, the court hearing on Thursday. They want to get ahead of it before something goes down on Thursday. If anything goes down, because, well, we know how it's gone so far. All right, now we get to part 3 of Robin Finding Summer. This one is titled, Why? Why?
A fresh wave of discouragement flooded over me as all the pieces of yet another hope came crashing down. This didn't happen just once, but several times over the past 2 years, and with each becoming more and more discouraging, to think your prayers are finally being answered, and then it's all nothing. If God is a God of miracles, where is He now? Should I even bother praying? Is God even listening? The God who claims to love children so much, where are you? Does anyone else get angry? I can tell you that God does. Brothers and sisters, there is nothing that burdens God's heart more than seeing innocent children who are neglected, abandoned, abused, used, especially used for selfish gain or sinful, demonic purposes that are beyond evil, unimaginable. We know how God feels about the people who do these things to children. Yes, God loves everyone, but Jesus said that He would rather a millstone be hung around their necks and be tossed into the depths of the sea than to offend one of these little ones.
Why don't you tell Candace that, Robin? Why don't you tell Candace that? She's right. That is the scripture. Have you ever asked Candace? When she's not too busy getting drunk or playing coin pusher? What happened? Why do you have 3 boys in foster care? Why did you have 2 in foster care in Wisconsin? I agree, Dolores. Robin, why are you being complacent in this evil? Why? Get a millstone, Robin. Walk the walk.
And why does God say that? I'll tell you why. Because the flames that will consume them will be far worse than drowning. And the results of that fire will last for all eternity. The Bible says, for the wages of sin is death. That is eternal death. Death that lasts for all eternity. You see, most people believe that when we die, we experience eternal torment. People will literally burn and be tormented forever. That is not what the Bible says, friends. The consequences of the fire will be eternal. The death will be eternal, but not the torment. The fire will consume them and they will die. The torment will end when they perish. Even in John 3:16, it says, whosoever believes in him will not perish, but have everlasting life. You see, there are only two options. We either perish or we have everlasting life. There is no third option for eternal life in hell. We either live for eternity or we die for eternity. And I have to admit it, in my sinful human heart, I'll be honest, when I think about people hurting children and torturing children, it's my wish that they would burn forever. 1,000 years on one side, flip them over and burn 1,000 years on the other side. When they get nice and toasty, screaming in agony, flip them over for another millennium, let them roast again. Honestly, that sounds horrible.
Flip them over? Flip them over and let them get toasty again? Woo! That's some fire and brimstone there. Or some would call it misinterpretation. Flip them over and let them burn for another 1,000 years. Good morning, muscles and mascara.
Hello.
What are you thinking about this docudrama put on by the one and only Robin?
Well, it's really kind of strange. I haven't got to see everything this morning. I got interrupted midway through, but I've seen some clips of it here and there. It's really strange. And why now? I guess that's my question, is the why now part.
Mm-hmm.
Not that
Why
that
now?
matters, but that's my question.
Is it because they're supposed to go to court on Thursday? Now, according to Dawn, court on Thursday has to do with child support.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm hopeful that it's more. I'm hopeful that there's a lot more that's coming out, but I don't know. This is wearing me out. What do you think about it? Do you think it's just child support? Do you think it's the child support?
Well, Dawn and Candace wouldn't lie. It's not in their metabolism, so I guess I'm taking up their word, correct?
Oh God, yeah. I forgot. Who am I kidding? I forgot. Not metabolism. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so overdue. It's so time. It is so everything. And if it is child support, then you know what? That's fine too. Whatever it is. But there comes a point in time where we have to just figure out. We have to demand more. I mean, I think we're at a point in time where Summer deserves that. You know, she deserves more, and it's more. It's so overdue. It's so time that we find out something more. And I understand that they don't want to show their cards and all this different stuff. I'm really tired of hearing that too. Like, I'm just ready for Summer to get the justice she deserves, regardless of where she is or how she is. She deserves justice, period. And so do the other children.
And so do the boys. So does Hunter. And
Yes.
I mean, I do know that Andrew opened a case with CPS, about, well, basically the video that Evil Exists put out about what is a very inappropriate relationship. We've heard some clips from Jose, what he witnessed. She had a friend named Jenna that has text messages, I guess, where Candace confessed to this. So, I mean, these children need to be saved, period.
Yes, absolutely. I agree 100%. 100%. It's just, it's mind-boggling to think that we're still here today. It's unbelievable to think about. I sent you a message and said, some stuff to you back, I guess that was around my birthday time, and said that, I was so thankful that Summer brought us together, and I am, and I'll never take that away from anything. And I'm so thankful that she led us together. But at the same time, you and I both know we're never going to quit until we know what happened to Summer, and we're never going to stop looking. We're never going to stop talking about her. We're never going to stop any of that. And we're never going to stop calling out the BS where it deserves to be called out either. Because let's be honest, it deserves it.
She does. And I get people that come in here and say, give it up. Well, she's still missing.
No. Can't give up. That's what they want us to do. They want us to turn a blind eye and not see all the things that's out there. That's what they hope for. And, it's really funny how all these people that have vanished. You haven't heard from them, and they all kind of just tuck tail and run, and now they're all showing their faces again. And it makes me feel like, is the heat truly on? Like, are we really looking at some heat now? Because why else would these people be running through, and making YouTube videos and all this stuff when they haven't been heard from in absolute months? It's insane.
Yeah, the only one that doesn't really let us down is good old Jody Sue. She's been talking ever since she figured out how to use StreamYard or Restream, whatever it is she uses.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the last time we heard from Robin was the 2 years. She gave an interview to the local news station, I believe. But now on YouTube, Tim is very active on the Find Summer Wells page, which isn't about finding Summer Wells.
Yes. Yeah. It's really strange how people have to spin these crazy narratives to make things make sense. Yet you can't make any of this story make sense because it's never made sense from the word go. And it's never made sense from the word go because of her parents. So, but everybody else is intertwined in it somehow, some way. And it's absolutely disgusting. I'm so tired of seeing it. I'm so tired of all the different people out here talking about all these weird things that's intertwined within this case. It's really crazy and it's really insane. And I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready for justice to be served. And whoever that is, and ever how many people that is, I will be so thankful to watch those silver bracelets go on top of their wrists. And I can't wait to hear the clink of them. I can't wait to see the complete dumbfounded looks that they have on their faces when it happens, because it will happen. I have no doubts it's going to happen. It's going to happen for Summer. It's going to happen for these boys. It's going to happen for every victim of another person's that there's out there. It will happen, and I will stand and applaud when the moment it does. It's going to happen. I have all the faith. I have the faith.
Well, I know on Thursday, and when push comes to shove, and when it all comes down, her face won't look like it did at the water park a few days after Summer disappeared. Look at that face.
Yeah. Yeah. Complete bliss of being at a water park when your daughter is 3 or 4 days out missing. Are you serious right now? You would have to peel me off the ground out of the woods because I've been looking for my kid. But no, we have Candace enjoying herself at the water park because they need to distract their boys. Really? It's disgusting.
My understanding is the boys weren't with them.
Well, that's funny that you say that because I've never seen them either. We've heard that as the excuse. I sure never did see them. So.
All right, let's get through the rest of Robin's BS, and then we're going to get to Creep Factor Tim.
And yet that's how humans interpret hell to be. That is not how God operates. God is way more merciful than I am. God, I'm so glad I'm not God. God would be a tyrant to do that, friends. But yet this is how most people view God. And this is why so many people reject God. No, we serve a loving God, a God who will judge with justice and mercy. It's not my job to condemn anyone. I'm a sinner in need of mercy myself. It's my job to show God's love and to pray.
Now, hang on. We have spoke about this on the Sunday show many times. She basically said it's not her voice, it's not hers to judge. She's a sinner herself. Yeah, this is true. But discernment is the only way you can keep yourself, your sanity, your children, your spouse, your home safe. You don't just leave the car unlocked and running and say, well, I'm a sinner myself. So if someone steals it, then that's what God wanted. We don't leave our homes unlocked and say, well, if someone takes my TV or steals my identity, I'm a sinner myself. You stay away from people that abuse children. Am I wrong here, Muscles?
No, not at all. And say it louder for those in the back, because this I'll never understand. Never.
All I
think
got
maybe there
out of
needs
that
to
is
be
she said she's glad she's not God.
Yeah, I get that. And here's another thing. She may need to go back and reread, because, again, I'm not anybody can stand up here and quote anything and make it all make sense, because I can't. But you know what? I know that there's no place for child abusers in my life whatsoever, and there never will be, never has been. So I sure am not going to go fork out money for them either to stand up there and redo their home and everything else. And I try not to give Robin a real hard time. I tried that initially. I really did. But I think it's just, for me, it's the point of the matter of, all these people say they knew. All these people say they've seen these horrible things that was happening in their home. But I'm telling you what, right now, you're no better than them if you didn't report them to who they needed to be reported to, in my opinion. That's Jessica's opinion. So there's that. Because I'll be dang if I sit back and I know that there's abuse taking place, or I suspect abuse, or I see abuse, or I see the deplorable conditions children are living in, and I turn and walk away like I absolutely see nothing. I will never do that. And I don't care who it is. Don't care how, whatever they think they are, whatever they think, or whoever they think they are. I don't care who you are. If I see it, I will say something. And if I end up being wrong, then so be it. I'll be wrong. I'd rather be wrong 100,000 million times than me to be wrong, than me to be right once. So you know what? That's fine with me. If I'm wrong every time, I'm wrong every time. But I'll be dang if I sit on my hands and let it happen. Y'all refuse.
The worst thing that's going to happen
are just as guilty.
The worst thing that's going to happen is a social worker is going to show up and say, it's not what you thought. Okay, fine.
Sure.
But I called it in.
Yeah.
Hell, she looked at her mouth and saw rotten teeth and did nothing. She saw the decline when she came to church, the loss of weight, the grabbing her crotch, the shaved off hair, and did nothing.
Yes. As a mother, in fact.
As a mother, because she's a sinner too.
Yeah. Yeah. So am I, Robin. So am I. But I'm not somebody that turns a blind eye. And I only am saying, in my opinion, I'm only saying in my opinion, because that's what we have to say on YouTube. So it's not that I'm not standing in my truth. Trust me, I am. So I'm so in my truth. I've been here since day one. I'll stand in my truth every single day. I have to say in my opinion, because it's YouTube.
Well, in my opinion, you're damn awesome. And you have been fighting for Summer for over 2 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And in my opinion, Lisa is awesome because she dropped a super sticker. Way to go, Lisa.
Yes. Thanks, Lisa.
But now Monday morning quarterback decides to make a few videos to act like she's looking for Summer. But were they looking for Summer when they went to the Christian concert? Or when Candace was at the rodeo and was filming a man's ass?
It's my job to show God's love and to pray. Please, dear Lord, don't make us wait any longer. Bring these children home, Father.
Hang on, my mic was muted and I was saying genius shit.
I was getting ready to ask you if you were muted. Sorry, I should have said it earlier.
You guys are in good hands. I know how to run this show. Some days. I agree with Lisa. I think Timmy put Robin up to this to cause a distraction. I do too. And I also, in my opinion, Suds, believe that Timmy and Robin are a little more intertwined and go much further back than what they have been perpetrating on Al Gore's internet. Also, in my opinion, Diana is the bee's knees because she is gifting those memberships. Get your umbrellas, my friends. Welcome, welcome, or welcome back. All right. Tim Mullen, who also co-signs the whole CPS kidnapped Summer. CPS kidnapped the boys. Now, mind you, the boys, I'm sure, know how to get a hold of the internet and see these things. I'm sure they check the Find Summer Wells page. He calls Robin the bread lady.
Interesting.
Now, where I come from, if you say a woman's baking a loaf of bread, it means a little something different.
Yes, ma'am. Me too.
But he calls her the bread lady. Now, according to him, he did this February 22nd of 2022. This is how he met her. However, if you look at the media moguls BS, you know that he was taking pictures at their church of the children, their programs, their parades inside the church. So he would have met Robin.
Yeah.
It's a train station in Kingsport. This town was made from scratch, pretty much. About 1917 was chartered. Kingsport was known as the model city of the South. The way it was built, it was a different kind of city government used. It was the layout, everything about it was unique.
Thank you for the history lesson. Snow said, I am almost certain. I heard Don say the boys are checking YouTube and stuff. He did say that because he said that one of the boys, I don't want to say which one, said he sounds like a jerkwad. Rebecca said, is Tim SDA? Yes, he is a sorry damn asshole. Yes. Or do you mean Seventh-day Adventist? Sorry, I got confused.
Actually, 2017 had its 100th anniversary. This year is its 200th anniversary. Figure that one out. In 5 years. It's had two charters. First one was in 1822. Then it all fell apart around the Civil War, and then restarted in 1917. And they laid the whole city out. It's called the model city. It has what's called Church Circle. Everything branches off from that. But this is a train station. It's pretty neat.
He only brings up transportation and the history for one, deflection, and two, to try to convince the YouTubians, as he calls them, that there was many ways to get her out of East Tennessee. Even though they said there's no sign of abduction, Pruitt is the lead investigator saying she has not been taken out of this area.
Yeah, I mean, what a history lesson, though. I mean, nobody needs to know about Kingsport. I mean, whatever. I don't know. The narrative you're spinning, I guess, is the reason why he's doing it, but it makes zero sense. I mean, ugh.
Oh, it gets
the train station still stands today, yeah, but it's not like it's being used. So,
yeah. So what's he saying it's being used for?
Yeah, exactly.
Been up in that clock tower. Got one mechanism runs all 4 clocks.
Oh, I could see SDA Tim up in a clock tower. I could see it.
Yeah.
This is about the third piece of how I got on the Summer Wells journey. It was first was the paper, the second was the parade, and then later into the Fun Fest.
First was the paper, second was the parade, then the Fun Fest. But Don Wells himself told me that him and Tim go way back. And I said, well, yeah, Summer's been missing a long time. He said, no, way before Summer went missing.
Yeah, he likes to track that, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. Scratch a lie, find a thief.
Mm-hmm.
As if, I mean, and it's not like, you know, I mean, well, hell, who knows? Don could be lying.
Oh, yeah, facts. We can tell the truth.
There was lots and lots of things that different families can do, but one of them was what was called bread making. You could learn how to make bread, and it was going to be at the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And so on that day, I'd done various things, but I went to that function. Then there was another big one about the same time, but I wanted to do that because bread making sounded unique for the news and for the city to have. And so I went to the Seventh-day Adventist, went inside to start photographing. And how do you say it? Lo and behold, there was that other woman walking with Candace in the parade. And she introduced herself as Robin. And that was really my second meeting. We talked just a little, talked about the parade. Can't remember really much of what we said. But got a lot of footage, and I remember I was hungry. I commented, bad place to come when you're hungry bread making and you got to wait for them to make it and cook it. And I had to take off to go down to another function, some big outdoor shindig dance, wahoo. And if I remember right, I think maybe I'd left, maybe they'd offered, they said we could make a loaf if you would like one. And I may have given, I gave them my number.
Well, who the hell's just going to make you a slice of bread? It's not a toaster lesson, you idiot.
And so while I am at the shindig, and it was a big outdoors thing, I did get a text that said, got some bread ready. We're getting ready to leave here. I can drop it off somewhere. And I thought, well, that's like kind beyond measure. And it was actually Robin that texted. And I thought, well, gosh, if they're going out of the way to make me a bread, I should at least go by and pick it up. So headed that way, and got there just in the nick of time. They were just finishing up in the kitchen.
So you just met Robin, who you call the bread lady.
Yes.
So she introduces herself, "Hi, I'm Robin," and immediately gets his phone number. Would you ask for Tim's phone number?
I literally wrote that note down so I didn't forget to say something about it. So you took it right from me. Absolutely. No. I don't give anybody my second time meeting them my phone number. Be real. Doesn't make any sense.
He already knew her. So she sends a text, "Hey, your bread's ready." Well, the least I could do is go pick it up.
Well, and I guess the other question to that is, so by looking at the scheduled date of when bread making was, that was going to be on, I just looked at the date. Are you kidding me? July the 19th. Well, but I thought him and Robin was on the hill together on June the 15th.
Yep.
So let's talk about that again. I'm confused.
Okay, because dates and times are very important. 7/19 is the bread making, but they were on the hill together June 15th, and he has pictures from his media from inside the church of children's programs.
Absolutely. And he also was on the hill with her that day, but only got her. That was the second time they met, but he acted like he never met her. That, lo and behold, that was the lady carrying the banner in the Fun Fest parade. Well, how about lo and behold, that's who was on the hill with you on June the 15th? Make that make sense.
Because he also said the first time he met David Dodson was after he read in the paper and went out to Ben Hill Road.
Lord, who knows? So was Dodson on the hill or was Tim on the hill?
Dodson. He was called by
Dodson
Tim.
was on the hill. Okay. Maybe that's my fault. So.
No, girl, we got to remind each other of stuff all the time. There's a lot. There's a lot to remember.
Yeah.
There's not enough paper in the world to write all this down.
No.
Cleaning, and Robin, another lady, children, they had made a plate of this bread already buttered and warmed and cut, and it was like, oh yeah. So they had a little drive-in window like at the church, so I was outside. So they opened up the window, and I got to enjoy a little bread snack. And real nice people. They all seemed very nice there. Everybody I've met at that church seems very nice. And then they gave me my loaf of bread, and I headed on back, finished up what I was doing, and I mean, it was pretty late by then in the evening, and pretty well that ended the day with that nice treat.
I don't hear it anymore, Brooks.
And that's how I met Robin the second time. I've been in that church once before years ago. I went for something. They were having some...
Well, if he was in the church 4 years ago, then he would have met Robin.
Yeah. And why is there pictures? Oh, gosh. This is so intertwined. And the outdoor event that he's speaking about, they actually were serving meals there, too. So I find it even stranger that, he was so hungry and he goes back to the church to get a loaf of bread as opposed to a meal that you had to pay for in the ticket price for Appalachia Express Chorus, sponsored by Food City, Humana, and the Appalachia Express Chorus. Interesting too. So
very interesting.
Interesting seminar or something. And that was a long time ago. So this is the first time I'd been back up there. And like I said, everybody there was extremely nice and thoughtful, of course. So when I forgot her name, I would just call her the bread lady. So for a long time, she was the bread lady, or not a long time.
I just call her the bread lady. Meeting Robin, the bread lady. So you said in this video that you go to this bread making thing, even though you'd never been to the church before, but then you say you'd been to the church 4 years ago. But you didn't meet her, who we know is one of the pillars of the church. But he didn't know her name. So you're telling me he did not remember her name was Robin, but knew that Robin was texting him to say the bread is ready. Can you help me?
Yeah, I wished I could, because only thing I go back to is bread. Bread ladies, bread is also used for, as a slang for money. So it makes me just, and I'm probably way up in the conspiracy theories of all this stuff, and I don't mean to be, but there's deeper meaning behind what they're actually just saying. It's just my opinion. And I understand he's using bread because they were making bread that day, but it's just really convenient to me a little bit. So,
but the bread lady, you're exactly right, is a slang for somebody with money. Who's the one that helped not remodel? We're not talking about slap and paint. Who helped Dawn and Candace, according to her and according to them, renovate that shithole?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's very odd that naturally she's not that soft-spoken.
Mm-hmm.
Until I finally remembered, oh, it's Robin, but the bread lady. And very nice. And I don't think it was long right after that. I don't know, made some contact, something about the case. I can't remember exactly, but got to go up to the park. She was at the park with her family, so I got to go up and meet her husband and get to know him. Real nice people. He's nice, solid guy, very solid. And so that was not long after that. I can't remember the exact order of how those events happened, but it was good to meet him. And the bread was delicious. And Robin was friendly from day one and continues to be that way. Church is very nice. When I've seen other people, oh, that's what it was. It was a church. They were having a church picnic. And I think there was like an invite or something like that, or if you want to come by or something, I can't remember. And I was in the area.
STFU. Well, there was an invite, or I was in the area. Were you invited or not? Are you a member of this church or not?
Yeah, just own it.
SDA.
The distancing itself.
SDA is a specific religion. It's not an open door type of thing. They actually have classes you have to go through for you to be part of them, from what I have heard. Okay. And I'm not picking on people that are Seventh-day Adventists. I have some friends that they're Seventh-day Adventists. Amazing, amazing people. So around here, because it's someone's religion, doesn't mean that they're doing what the bad people in that religion do. He cannot keep his BS straight. Common Sense True Crime says he doesn't want to sound like he really knows Robin.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly
Agreed.
it. But he's painted himself into a corner because he was there 4 years ago. She texted him about the bread. He was invited to a picnic or might have been in the area. No.
Photographing and thought, oh, well, yeah, I should zoom by because I definitely wanted to meet her husband. And then that was just a little bit of time, just a little after the bread. Fun Fest was over at the end of that week. That was there in July. And that is around the time I started listening to, I think I came across the YouTube. It was the interview room. I think that was the first thing I heard.
Oh, I don't think it was the first thing you heard, Tim. Rebecca Gable, thank you. She said, you can't be baptized unless you agree that Ellen White is a true prophet and the source of truth. Yes, many are very nice in there. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't remember the woman's name. Just like if you're Mormon, you have to agree that John Smith and Brigham Young, you know, if you're Christian, you can't deny Jesus, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a, you know, the doors are open for anybody. There's a class. So no, he didn't just go to a picnic to meet Bread Lady's husband. Why would he want to?
Mm-hmm.
I have my own thoughts on that, which I thought that was excellent at the time, until he came to a certain spot, and I could tell when he said what he said that it just was going to probably cause all sorts of bad stuff. And I wished he hadn't gone that way. But other than that, the interviews were both very good and very helpful to be able to get to see Candace, get to listen to her, see the home. I know people were like shocked with the home, but they don't know this area. You can drive down Beach Creek and see all sorts of homes.
Okay, he said people were shocked to see the home. He said people don't know this area. Well, Muscles, you're from that area. What's your house look like?
Yeah, my house does not look anything like the Wells house, and I will gladly stay in here in that and just own that, because I'll be damned if I raise a child or live in a home myself that look like that trash hole did. Sorry. Yeah, there's people all over the country that live just like that, Tim, not just here in East Tennessee or in Beach Creek. They're everywhere in this world. You can just turn on the television or watch an episode of Hoarders, and it's the same situation. So thank you for that history part of the lesson here, Tim. We appreciate it. And I really would like to know why you wished that Chris McDonough didn't go that direction with those interviews, because that's the closest thing to the truth that we have gotten since June the 15th, 2021, Tim. So why are you mad about the way that he took that and the direction he took it in? Because he told the truth and he showed the truth? Is that what you're sorry for?
And he was invited. He didn't just show up. He asked her at the pond, can I come up to the house? You know, you can explain to me. He's a detective. How did she get out of the house? You know, what are you telling me? She said, yeah, sure, you can come up.
Yeah, I mean, all you had to say was no. You're the one that agreed to the interview and drove to the lake to meet him there. So why is everybody so pissed off over Chris McDonough because he put her stuff out there without editing any of it to make her look better, to make them look better? And we got the truth told. And I mean, I don't understand why you're so upset of that. It's not our fault that you didn't have a front door. It's not our fault that you had scaffolding steps for stairs to go into your home. It's not our fault that you had cats and dogs and rats and rodents and whatever else was running around that house. That's not our fault.
And the double down continues because Tim, in his own way, is arguing with people on the Find Summer Wells Facebook page, which does everything but try to find Summer Wells, where he says the public only saw the house after it had been searched and taken apart by law enforcement many, many times due to the case of Summer Wells. Okay, so we didn't... The house in the Chris McDonough interviews, to some, they hadn't seen it, but the rest of us had. Candace has a very public Facebook page. She has many, many accounts, and we saw the backdrop. We saw a picture of Summer. She looked about 18 months old, 2 years old, naked as a jaybird, straddling lumber. We saw the trash in the yard. The double down continues.
That a lot of people may not like to keep their home that way, but that wasn't really the point to me. When I saw it, it was like, that didn't bother me. However,
let's just say that the pictures on Candace's Facebook didn't exist, where we could see the backdrop from 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017. Allie, Sherry, I don't know about Grand Bun. All the people that had been to the house before said it's rodent filled, it's disgusting. Say none of that existed. You're telling me between June 15th and the end of July, they couldn't put their house back together? Because they weren't looking for Summer.
No, they were not. And I'm sorry, but if he doesn't find an issue with that home, that's a problem. There were electrical wires that were live hanging from the ceiling that those boys at a minimum could have reached up and touched. There could have been exposed live wiring that could have electrocuted a child. There were rat feces laying everywhere. There was not a place for people to go to the bathroom in privacy. The mattress, for the love of God, looked like I wouldn't lay my dog on that mattress. So you're telling me you don't see an issue with that? Well, there in fact lies the problem then, is for people that they hang around like that don't want to call bullshit when bullshit is to be called out, because you're raising children in a filthy, disgusting, unsanitary, and unsafe environment. All of those words are CPS bound words. Sorry about your luck. But if you don't see a problem with that, then that's a problem.
Bingo. 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 And he's barking up the wrong tree. No one's going to take your kids because you have cockroaches in the house, because we know different areas of the nation, they will get into the house. You put down the traps, you spray, whatever. There was something else going on there, and it wasn't damn BB guns. Hell, we would need a lot of social workers in Oklahoma if CPS is going to go and investigate a kid having a BB gun.
Yeah, really? I mean, BB guns, really? I mean, that's the way of the world. I mean, that's what happens. People have BB guns. Whoopity-doo. I could care less about BB guns if they're kept up in a safe environment and not given to the wrong children or put in the hands of the wrong kids. Lord knows that. I'm not sure that Dawn and Candace were capable of showing them how to use a BB gun, but nonetheless, give us a different reason why, because those reasons don't cut it for us, because we know that's not true. It is the deplorable conditions that you have those children in. Look at that mattress, and you would lay your kid on that? I'm sorry.
I wouldn't let OJ lay on this.
No.
For those that don't know, OJ is my cat. I wouldn't let OJ lay on that. And you can tell there's been 3 sweaty ass heads laying on that mattress.
So disgusting. And the fact that okay, listen, I know that people go through things and that people go through hard times. You don't have to be rich to be clean or have a safe environment for your children to grow up in. And daggone you to go out here and make money. And Dawn, you make enough to make a good living around this area, whatever it is. I'm not saying that you're going to live in the Taj Mahal, nor should you have to. That's not what I'm saying. You could live in this home that you're currently standing in front of if it was clean and sanitary and safe. But you choose to be filthy and throw shit all over the house and not flush your freaking toilet paper or whatever it is you were doing, the disgusting vile stuff that you were doing. You don't have to be rich to be clean. You don't. And you don't have to be picture perfect, clean, and eat off the floors. That's not what I'm asking for. It is the bare minimum that we are talking about here, people. And if you don't see a problem with the way that those kids grew up in that home, then you are a problem. And you will always be a problem. And if you turn a blind eye to that, you're a problem.
He was asked on another channel about this mattress. And of course, it got privated pretty fast. He said the top mark is Allie's forehead and the two other marks are her hands. And now I can't unsee it from when she was with Jose.
Well, you kept the mattress around for her then, Dawn, if that was the case. What you still got it for?
I can't unsee it, and I don't believe him. I think they just live that damn way. All right, before I shut down, I want to go through the Evil Exists video one more time. I want to get Muscle's reaction on it because I really do think something needs to be done with the horrible relationship that Candace had with Hunter.
Agreed.
Came across a post on YouTube that said maybe Hunter is the key to what happened to Summer. Since Candace and Dawn would take whatever they know to hell, rather than tell the truth. It's an interesting statement, and I thought Hunter has been extremely quiet the past 2 years. Except from that interview with Chris McDonough.
This is inappropriate. She had no reason to take this video of her and Hunter together and put it online. Allie should have never allowed it. Allie should have kept her children and herself far, far away from Candace.
Yeah.
We haven't really heard much from him. I question all the time the relationship Candace had with Hunter. I know there's lots of speculation surrounding it, but what's the truth? And why are there no charges if she did in fact supply a minor with vapes and twisted tea? I totally believe that Candace gave Hunter twisted tea that day. She said she bought.
Why is she rubbing his head? He is not her son.
Tea that day. She said she bought sweet tea for her mother. But I don't even think for a minute that Candace was even at the swimming hole. She was in so much pain that she had to go to the emergency room. So how was she able to walk down the path to the swimming hole and stand there while Summer went swimming? Don't buy that for a second. I think it was just Candace, Hunter and Summer at the swimming hole, and Summer was swimming while Candace and Hunter did who knows.
I honestly myself, I think considering the time it takes at the ER, and particularly the ER they're talking about, I've heard from many locals, one being Muscles, that she wouldn't have been in and out like that. I do not believe that she was in immense pain. I think she was manipulated by Candace because we see her right here at the water park on hot pavement with the bum knee just a couple days later after Summer went missing. Candace is happier than a pig in shit. Look at her.
Yeah, she sure is. And I will agree with that. I have never thought that Grandma was there. And when she came out and did her interview, her one and only, when she was bitching about YouTubers, when she said, I think it was at the Warrior's Path or whatever, the horse stables or whatever it was she said. She didn't even know for sure where they were at. And she didn't act like she was there, and she didn't allude to the fact she was there. So I never believed that story either.
Nope. And I don't believe Candace on June 15th actually gave a rat's ass about her mother. No.
No.
And also, the water park day correlates with the same day David Dotson supposedly took the boys to go play miniature golf. But I have to double check that. Don't run with it.
Yeah. I'd like to know that too.
And remember, Candace didn't post that picture. Somebody else was there and recognized them. They posted it. They didn't post the kids there because people would somewhat understand that. It was the two of them.
Well, Candace and Hunter did who knows what. Honestly, there are a few things that I want to go over regarding Hunter and Candace. The first thing is, remember when Hunter changed his relationship status to say he was in a relationship, and then changed his Facebook profile picture to him and Candace. When Candace did an interview with Unmasked, one of the very first times she spoke.
Now, this to me is very telling. We know how kids use social media. So on May 27th of 2020, which by the way, if I'm doing my math correct, would be around the same time that Dawn went to Utah. Did he not leave at the end of April 2020 and returned in October of 2020? Because they were making each other jealous, according to Dawn. So he changes his relationship status to in a relationship. We know how kids take that stuff very seriously. The same day, it's not a picture of him and a girl his age. It's a picture of him and Rebel Hat Candace.
Mm-hmm. And FYI, WJHL on their website updated June the 25th. There was a story ran about them being at the putt-putt course. It says, yesterday I took them to putt-putt course here in Kingsport to give them a peaceful day away from the search and the rescue teams on their property and agents coming up. So that tells me that should have been on June the 24th then, is when that they were at putt-putt.
Then where were the boys on June 18th? I don't know.
Good question.
When Candace did an interview with Unmasked, one of the very first times she spoke out, she said Hunter calls her Aunt Candace. Who believes that? Let's also look at these really sickening messages between Candace and Hunter on Facebook.
Okay, Muscles, we're going to do an exercise. I want you to close your eyes.
Okay.
I want you to imagine your son. Now imagine another grown woman. If your son puts on Facebook, he's in a relationship. He's got a girlfriend at school, you know. And a grown woman says, who? With your hand? And he gets, smart with her, says, yeah, Rosie Palm and her 5 sisters. And then she says, and her brothers. And he says, F you too. And she says, no, bro, I don't F my homies. What would you do? And we don't have to be too graphic.
Yeah. This behavior is just disgusting. That's all I'm going to say. But what I have to say is not appropriate for this setting at all. Not even close. Gross. It's absolutely disgusting.
And if that investigator, and yes, there is an open case, I know for a fact, does not get to the bottom of this, then it is yet another child failed that came from the Wells camp.
He was a young teenage boy at this time. Why does she think it's okay to talk to a child this way? Really bothers me a lot. David Dotson said that he went to the Wells house the week Summer vanished, and Candace was on a video call with Hunter. That's the first time he ever met Hunter. Why was Candace FaceTiming Hunter days after Summer vanished?
Yeah. Wow. It's called damage control. It's called damage control. That's the reason on the 17th, she rolled up to the house to ask Hunter what he told the TBI. Not, sorry you got drug into this. Thank you for cooperating. It was damage control. It was intimidation. And the intimidation is continuing via Tim Mullen by posting pictures directly and comments directly at their oldest son. It's horrible.
Yeah, and if that picture right there just wasn't worth 1,000 words of her, that video that she did right there wasn't worth 1,000 words, I don't know what it is.
Well, let's have a huge round of applause for our friend Muscles. She's got to jump off and go to a meeting.
Yeah.
Always, my good friend. So much appreciate you coming up
Yes.
for Summer and being my friend. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. I might do another show, but it depends on what time my friend is going to get back from her orientation. And because she hears enough of my mouth. And but just check your notifications. Make sure your remind all is on, because I really want to talk about this woman that went missing in Arizona. It is very strange. So check for that. And if not, then I'll see you back here tomorrow morning. We have a lot of stuff to go through, but this has been a great show, great friends, great community, great mods, best chat on YouTube, hands down. Thank you so much. We have a lot of gifted memberships. Mama Bear, thank you for the super sticker. Lisa, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for keeping the channel going. Make me blush. You make me blush. So enjoy your Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. And I'll either see you back here a little bit later or I'll see you tomorrow morning. You guys are the absolute best.